What happens if you do 100 kettlebell swings every single day for 30 days? Well, I put this theory to the test by accident. I've been really busy the last couple of months finishing off my master's degree, doing early mornings, late nights at the lab, working a lot on my business, making these videos, and of course enjoying the beautiful English summertime, which so far has been nothing but cloudy with a strong chance of rain. So I started doing 100 swings every single morning as an insurance policy that if I didn't have time later in the day to get a full workout in, at least I'd done something in the morning. Now, obviously, I definitely don't recommend doing swings every single day, or any exercise every single day for that matter, unless you are considerably lowering the amount of weight you use and treating it more like a mobility routine than an actual strength training routine. I was doing 2 hand swings with 1 kettlebell, which is half the weight that I normally do, meaning that my risk of overtraining or injury was actually pretty low. If you want a program that safely incorporates kettlebell swings, you can get this in the description below. And so without wasting any more time, the first thing I noticed was that doing swings in the morning helped me defrost way quicker than I normally would. You know how it feels when you wake up, especially if you don't sleep well and you're just kind of half a human, weird sort of brain fog, just want to go back to bed and put off all your responsibilities for the day. I normally wake up quite early, but it takes me 2 to 3 hours to fully feel like I'm myself. But I found that if I did these swings within the first hour or so of my day, it was like putting my brain in a microwave at 850 watts, and I felt way more awake or defrosted way earlier. And this does make sense given that doing exercise redistributes blood and obviously releases feel-good hormones, increases heart rate, but this is actually a massive benefit for me that I didn't really consider before I started doing this. The second thing that happened, and I don't know why this is the case, but my clean and press just took off. Now, over the last couple of months, I've added a second kettlebell to my training, just because I wanted to squeeze a bit more juice out of my training session, and I thought that doubling the weight would be a good way of doing this. And my progress over the first month of using 2 kettlebells was fairly slow, as you'd expect. I was struggling to get sort of 5 reps for 4 or 5 rounds on clean and press, and now over the last month I'm pretty comfortable smashing out 8 reps for 4 or 5 rounds. So I'm not sure whether this is a direct cause of doing the swings every day, or whether I've just been smashing clean and press really hard, or whether it's some combination of both. But I just found the progression happened way quicker, firstly than I expected, but secondly than the first month of using 2 kettlebells. That's the opposite of what you would expect. Normally, whenever you start a new program, you make progress really quick at the start, and it starts to kind of taper off and starts to plateau the further you get into the program. And this is actually something really important for people who feel too unfit to start actually working out, because the more unfit you are, the more progress you will make in the same time frame as someone who starts off more fit. And I hope that makes sense. If you're really unfit, you can make far quicker progress than someone who is less unfit than you in the same amount of time. And there is actually something called the what the hell effect. It's basically the idea that just by doing kettlebell swings, your strength in every other lift or exercise increases. So whether it's just a coincidence or whether it's actually something that has some truth to it, either way, I noticed my strength in other areas drastically increase over the last month. I'll start my third point by asking you a question. If you make your bed in the morning, are you more or less likely to let your bedroom become a bomb site throughout the day? If you have a nice made bed, are you just going to dump your clothes on the floor, or are you going to go to a bit more effort to actually put them away where they're supposed to be? Well, you'd make an effort to keep it tidier, right? Because your bed's already made, it looks nicer, you'd make more of an effort. Well, in the same way, I found that pretty much every single day that I did swings first thing in the morning, I was way less tempted by normally seductive foods. Now, normally I absolutely love a bit of sugar, something sweet, and I have to try really hard to not keep stuff that is going to make me eat 1,000 calories in an hour in the house. Well, I found that just by working out in the morning, for the rest of the day, I was just naturally having less cravings for unhealthy, bad foods. I didn't want to metaphorically make my bed just to go and tip the washing basket all over the floor. I feel like that had a massive knock-on effect to every other decision I made throughout the day, because I'd started the day off on the right note. If you start the day in a bad way, well, then you'll make worse decisions for the rest of the day. If you start the day in a good way, you can make better decisions for the rest of the day. And finally, just mentally, I felt really good in the morning. If you live in the UK, you'll know that this summer has been absolutely dreadful, although I'm not really sure what any of us expected. Even if it's grey and cloudy outside, once I've got a sweat on, once I've done 100 swings, 5 sets of 20 swings, I just felt so much better about life in general. I just felt so much more positive. There's really something to be said for just getting sweaty, having a shower, and then starting your day. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about it. So am I going to continue to do 100 swings a day? Well, probably not. But what I have learned from it is that, firstly, swings are a really good exercise. Secondly, I feel so much better and make better choices throughout the day if I work out earlier, and that might be something that you want to try as well. And actually, if I've learned nothing else, it's that I want to make swings a bigger part of my general gym program. And I think this would benefit every other muscle group in my body, not just in getting bigger, but in getting stronger. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.